Hi, everybody. It's the Me and My Boyfriend Nicole podcast. I'm Aurora.
And I'm the boyfriend, Nicole.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How y'all doing? So, how you been, Nicole?
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Getting ready to go to work. Going in early.
And I do have to work today. Second job. Damn.
Yes, I know. Second job check-in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ding, ding.
So, what we checking in today about?
So, I had something happen to me that was really just a great experience, different from last week, in a good way. Mm. Someone told me something that I needed to hear, exact opposite of your experience last week. So, I work this job. I don't think I've ever really said what I do, but basically I work in the mental health field. Mm-hmm. And,
this is first job check-in.
Oh, first job check-in, yeah. It's a hard job.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of stress. It's working with like trauma, and it cannot. Some days I come home and I just go straight to sleep because that's all I have left.
Emotionally, physically,
just
exhausted.
And I've been feeling like Nicole and I had a come to Jesus moment earlier in the week about how she basically told me that I was not myself anymore, and she feels like I had regressed emotionally even farther back than when we first met, and I like back in the day, like back at the place that shall not be named, because I was really going through some things back then. And I was like, yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say back that far, but
I could see it happening.
Yes.
And let me tell you, that's not easy to say to a friend or someone you care about. Like, yeah, we need a time out, check-in time real quick. I love you. You've had to do this with me before, too. I'm like, every time I interact with you, it just feels like, the walls are coming up and just kind of like pushing me away kind of thing,
Yeah, I definitely like curled in on myself, very much like a turtle.
Yeah, and I told you, I'm ride or die, girl. If you like, we doing this till I retire. It's the last job I had. This is it. I'm like, I'm right with you. I'm like, if you said I want to do a podcast anymore, like I'm dedicating my life to this, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still keep it on, but I'm there with you.
I get
Rhea, you want to do it? No.
Oh, damn, bitch.
Nobody can replace you. I'm just teasing. But I'm just saying, like, whatever you want to do, I support you in it. I just wanted to acknowledge that something's going on and what can we do to do better. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything else. And I think when someone really loves you, they're like, what do you need or want? And if they see you struggling or having a problem or things are going great and celebrating, just acknowledging what's going on, kind of checking in.
Yeah. And I had kind of been talking with you for a while, like, I think it's my time to go, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, for the past, 2 months, I feel like I've been saying that almost.
On your break time, you were literally getting in your car and driving away, and then turn around and going back, and you're like, I just need to know that I can leave. And I'm like, okay, so now you're starting to feel, like locked in, like part of that. Because you're the company you keep, and you keep more company, most people do, at work than you do with everyone else. We put in 40 plus hours there, and you work a lot of double shifts. And so it's like just needing that to get away, physically get away, and then come back. That it is a choice you're making every day. And I understand that. But that was becoming more and more.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a one-time thing, and then it kind of became like the norm.
Yeah.
About like me just... Because there's a Dollar General right next to where I work. Like, it would literally just be me, like, going into the parking lot and, like, turning back around. Maybe sitting there for a couple minutes. Just like, okay, I'm off, campus.
And so what happened the other day, Aurora?
Well, this past week was one of the most insane, off-the-chain weeks I've had in a long time. And I feel like people could tell it on my face. It was so bad that they asked me to do a double on Monday, and I literally started crying. Like could not control myself. Was like, like, bleh. And I was like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. And he was like, okay, go home. And I was like, okay, thank God. And yesterday, I guess people kind of sense that I maybe haven't been myself, even at work that don't know me that well. Yesterday we have this lady who works there who's really sweet. Like, she works in housekeeping, and she's always got such, like, a bright, light smile. She's usually playing music. She interacts with everybody there, and she calls herself Brown Sugar. That's what I'm going to call her. It's like, she's so nice. And I walked up to her, and I said, what's this I hear about you leaving? She's like, yeah. She's like, it's just my time. She's like, I've been here 3.5 years. And she's like, and it's just my time to go. And I said, I understand that. And she's like, can I talk to you? And I said, yeah. And she pulled me into an office. She's like, I just want to let you know. She's like, you are so much more than this place. And she's like, and I really feel like she's like, God has given everyone a purpose, obviously. She's like, but I really feel like God has given you a purpose, and you are such a bright light in this world. And she's like, I just want to let you know that you are more than this job, and you can do so much more. She said, I could understand if you were working to become a therapist or something and you work here. She's like, but you're not. She's like, you can leave and you can go and do something more and better than this place. And she's like, this job does not define you and who you are. And I was like, I really needed to hear that. It was very validating that for me, that the feelings that I had been feeling weren't just all inside my head, kind of thing. And someone who doesn't really know me that well, like, we talk and, like, we interact, and, like, we always have a good time when we speak. And, like, we've had a couple conversations, but I don't really think I've ever mentioned her to you. But, like, just the fact that she took the time out of her day to tell me that, and it was really something I needed to hear, like, was kind of like a sign from God for me of, like, these are the words that God needed me to hear, and saying, yes, baby girl, like, trust your instinct. Trust me, know that I've got you. Listen. And I'm like, yes. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All the signs were pointing to time to go.
And it wasn't anything that you hadn't said to me before. And not saying that I don't value your opinion, but it was just like, it's someone that literally, like, doesn't really know me that well telling me these things. And it went without saying, she didn't say, like, I've noticed you haven't quite been yourself. But it, like, I heard that. And I was like, okay.
And then she sang to you.
Oh, and then she sang to me. Yeah, I forgot about that. She was like, I used to watch this old Western with Kenny Rogers. And she said, this song has just helped me. And I just sing it to myself, and I feel like you need to hear it. She's like, you gotta know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Like, all that. She sang me the whole song. I can't remember all the lyrics now, or I'd sing it. But that, I sang that song to myself for the rest of the day, and it made me feel a lot better.
It was a gift.
It was. So, big ups, Brown Sugar.
Right? Many props. And how do you feel now?
I feel so much better. You even said, like, I feel like a weight has been lifted. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. It's like I put a deadline on it. Like, okay, you've done all of this. You've put literally mind, body, soul, spirit into this. Money, literal money. Which is fine. It's not about that. Like, literally. It's literally not about that.
But you've done everything you possibly could.
Yeah.
To make it better there, you know, to make it a better environment, you know, for you, for them, everything you've given everything you possibly could. And it's I hate to say like a sinking ship, but yeah. And I almost don't want to say it's not enough, but it really, nothing would ever be enough.
It's not anything I could personally do, and I feel like we should talk about a podcast about this. But it's one of those lessons that I learned at Gap. Have I ever said where I work before? Yeah, I feel like I have. Where I learned my scope. Like, in knowing what can I directly control, what can I do, what is in my power. And I realized, okay, this was my circle. This is what I could influence. I've done everything I can in this circle. And I've brought light and joy to everyone that I've worked with. I've enjoyed my time there. It's been really fun. I didn't make no friends.
No. But another thing, too, is we've always joked and compared it to Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Yes. And that not even when the state owned it, when it became a private, you know, contract facility, and they was doing the lowest of the low, lowballing everything, like barely meeting any kind of minimum standards.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this place is. And
yeah.
it looks different from the outside.
Yeah.
The website is pretty and it tells you all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
But they run in low staff.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't meeting the requirements for so many things.
Yeah.
The people are all burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
And any good people, it's hard for them to keep because it's all just a sinking ship. And I have worked with lots of people when I did social work who had worked there, who started there,
mm-hmm.
who had... right out of school, went there, whatever, and they all said no.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't ever work. Like, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, surely it's changed. Maybe it's just their experience,
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole had applied for a job there,
yeah.
and then she moved and turned it down,
mm-hmm.
and then you applied for a job there, and at first you're like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now months later, you're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would almost say that it's gotten progressively worse
mm-hmm.
since I've been there. Like, it was bad before, And you know how it is when you come to a job. It really takes you a month to really see a place for what it is.
Hello.
I feel like you're going through that right now.
Yeah.
Where people can put up a front
mm-hmm.
for about a month, and then you get tired.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I really can't be out here
mm-hmm.
putting this. And the thing about it is, there's constantly new people shuffling in and cycling in, so it's almost like that front stays up, but then when you get down into the deep underbelly, right? Because then you're one of the burnouts too.
yeah And you see the constant turnover rate. Like, some people don't make it through a day, a week,
no,
yeah.
We literally had one girl just quit, and she just never came back. Yeah. I'm like, I get it.
You gotta be a little messed up to be able to make it work, to be able to stay,
Yeah.
It's gonna make you deal with your own traumas.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that's true of anything in behavioral therapy, social work, anything like that. Like, if you got issues, they gonna come to the surface. I think they even talked to you about that during your training.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah.
So, what do you feel like you got out of this experience?
I feel like I got a lot.
Oh, you definitely did.
I got a lot.
Your scope has become more clear.
Yes.
I can see clearly.
Now the rain has gone. I realized that even though, like, we joke that, like, I'm emotionally closed off. Like, oh, she's Gemini. She ain't got nothing in there. Like, whatever. Pisces are too emotional for me. It's not so much the emotion. I'm just very sensitive. I'm a sensitive, emotionless person. Not emotionless.
You're very, very sensitive and actually very emotional. And so you don't let a lot in.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a lot.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that wall, and it's like it takes a lot to open the door.
Yeah.
And trust you to come in. Yeah. And if you mess it up, you out.
Yeah, pretty much.
You push another person out. You're like, bye. Yeah. Well, maybe you got too close. Or maybe you touched a button. Whatever. Maybe you just didn't behave well while you was inside the wall. So now you out. And it literally slammed a door in somebody's face. Bye. That's not bad, though. That's healthy. You understand, like where you're at, what you do, and everything else. But sometimes it sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Like in a job, in a relationship, if it's family or whatever, where you knew it was there, but you thought it was good. And then slowly by slowly, you're like, whoa, how'd I get here?
Well, it's also like, oh, maybe I didn't deal with that as much as I thought I had. Or it brings up things that I didn't think were an issue before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, maybe that was a problem that I hadn't quite... I was focused on the other things.
That's where I think it is a good thing that you went through this. And...
It has made me stronger, though, as a person. Let me tell you, let me give you a little peek inside my world, right? I get cussed out on a daily basis.
Dude, on an hourly.
On a minutely.
Right? Well, what did you tell that person the other day when they was telling you, fuck off, bitch?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, he was like, fuck off, bitch. And I was like, come up with something more original and more creative. I said, when you can do that, come talk to me again. When you get told...
It was played out.
Yeah, literally, I told him, I was like, get some new material. I told him that.
And what did he say to you?
He was like, fuck off, bitch. And I was like, once again, I was like, come up with something new.
Right. That's where the true example of how we give words power. Words do not have power. We give words power. Mm-hmm. And you have been desensitized, which I think isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
To that. To where you're like, really?
That's it?
That's it?
That's all you got?
No. Okay.
And? One day, someone was like, da-da-da-da-da, and I was like, and? Mm-hmm. And they were like, and I was like, yeah. Like,
your tolerance for BS has skyrocketed.
Okay, so my tolerance has lowered for BS, but my ability to respond to it has skyrocketed.
True that. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
power.
Right? Don't come up with me sideways.
Exactly, right? And it goes back to that. Mm-hmm. Realizing you have no control over anyone or anything. The only thing we have control over is our own self and how we react to things.
Yeah.
Or whether we choose to react to it. You know, and whether we internalize things.
Yeah.
Take other people's hurt on, other people's energy on, whatever. That's the only thing we have control over. Mm-hmm. We don't have control over what nobody else does. And it's like, when you're in that situation, you really realize that.
Well, not that I didn't know this, but like, I really learned hurt people. Like, you call them fuck off bitch, you're a bitch whore, cunt, blah, blah, blah. That is literally not about me. Mm. Like, I literally just told you to go to your room. Like that's not about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're dealing with something else there. Like, I'm literally here to care for you. I treat everyone with kindness and respect. The way you respond to me is literally about you, and you're lashing out at me, which I recognize that. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really faze me.
No, and it's a great lesson to learn. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, you already knew that.
Yeah.
But this is one of those you ain't never gonna forget.
No.
It's here.
It's here.
It's here to stay.
Yeah.
In a good way.
And then you also, like, I see people now and I'm like, oh, you
start recognizing everybody's trauma.
Who hurt you?
Yeah.
And then, like, I'll see people like, oh, that's a future so-and-so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a future so-and-so. Or that was you. I've met you as a child. Mm-hmm. Kind of thing, Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, so you can always find good in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now, thank you next.
Freedom!
Woo! So you're going to tell them, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take a little time for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to come back.
Cleanse the aura of Aurora.
Yeah, someone said that. They say that at work about me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And come back better, stronger, newer, refreshed, revived, ready for summer. Let's do this.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. God.
Woo! Sounds like it's time for some EC.
Oh, girl.
I know. I'm like, I need to get some nights off on the weekend so we can start partying. I know my birthday's coming up too.
Ooh.
Not to make it about me, but I'm just saying it's coming up. You got it.
It's okay. I've had my 5 minutes. It can now be your 30.
Oh Lord, no, that's not it. I'm just saying we need to celebrate your moment.
Yeah.
That you're doing something for you, and that life is beautiful and full of moments, and nothing's truly bad.
No, and even this isn't bad at all.
And you made a difference there.
Mm-hmm.
And the time you were there, you made a difference there. You did everything you could. You cared. You experienced. You shared. You gave. Your blood, sweat, and tears.
Literal.
Right? And now it's time for the next thing. Mm-hmm. Right? We coming away better, stronger.
I'm gonna miss everybody.
Of course.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
But we excited.
I know everybody's name there, right? People are like, how do you know everybody's name? You don't even work with them. Because I make it a point to. I want them to know that someone, knows them.
You good people.
I try to say their name when I speak to them, too. Mm-hmm. Like, I try to say every single person that I come in contact with, I want to acknowledge them.
That's very sweet and special. Mm-hmm. You good people, I say. I love you. I
love you, too.
I'm very excited for you.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what you do next.
Well, anywho, that was my 20 minutes.
I love you so much. No, I think it's such a big deal that you shared that and that your moment and that someone took time out of their day to stop you.
Yes.
And that you were on their heart and they went out of their way to tell you that and sing you a song.
Yeah.
That you can now go to anytime anything's going on that shared that with you. Like such a personal moment. And they shared that with you right when you needed to hear it.
Yeah.
And I just think that was so beautiful. And I think we all need to do that more. When you really feel something on your heart, you need to share that with someone else. And like how we talked about before, when someone gives you that gift, just really receive it and say thank you. Yeah. That was a beautiful moment. Nothing else needs to be said.
No, I just wanted to share.
You said it perfectly.
Thank you, stop.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for caring.
You're so beautiful. I love you. You are so beautiful.
To me.
To me. And the rest of the world. Can't you see?
Oh, yes. Girl, those notes.
You're everything I hope for.
Oh.
And want to be.
Oh.
Everything I need. We're really not in a relationship. You are so beautiful to me.
Oh, it's the ad-libs for me.
Yeah.
All right, well, everybody. I just want to end on that beautiful high note. You just left me.
No, I apologize. Okay.
No, I said it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Right.
Leave a comment down below.
Until next time.
Leave us a 5-star review.
Absolutely. You know you want more of us.
Absolutely. Share with your friends. Like it, leave it on the Instagram, the Facebook.
Is this number 40?
Yeah, this is number 40.
40 weeks.
Bitch.
What's up?
We got, a couple, a few more until it's a year.
Oh my God.
We need to start thinking about our year anniversary special.
Right? Send us some suggestions.
I have some ideas.
Oh, I bet you do.
Girl.
I think we need to definitely be having some videos out by then. Maybe that's our first video.
Well, then, you know what I thought about?
What? Pool party? What?
Well, bitch already. But, no, I was thinking about one of our first videos should be us putting together that puzzle that we got.
Absolutely, I'm down.
Like a time-lapse video of that? Like, hanging it on the wall?
Yes. All right.
Anyway.
I'm down. Love you. Gotta go to work.
Love you. Oh, yeah. Bye.
Bye.